Welcome to Chad Hates Carbs. Today we're going to make a new peanut butter dessert, and those of you that know me know that I love me some peanut butter. So what we're going to do is make a peanut butter brownie ice cream no bake. It's kind of crazy, but let's try this. Step one is we need to get some softened butter, 1/3 of a cup. So let me get that started. We're going to obviously do that in the microwave because it's so much easier than trying to do it any other way. So I'm going to go ahead and take 1/3 of a cup, slap that bad boy in the microwave. Put it in there for about 30 seconds. Let it do its thing. And then in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to put in 1/3 of a cup of peanut butter. And of course, we're getting to the bottom of our giant vat of peanut butter. And since this is 1/3 of a cup and I'm going to use this in a second, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Because, you know, that's the way that all good chefs do it. And I'm nothing if not the best. So that's 1/3 of a cup of peanut butter. And then we're going to take our butter, which is almost to the totally melted state, which is exactly what we want. You know, because melted butter is the best butter. And we're just going to get all that out of there. Okay. And then what we want to do here is get that all mixed together. And obviously I love me a KitchenAid because it makes this stuff so easy. Now, it seems a little bit silly to do this in the sense that there's not really that much stuff in there. But the trick is that we're going to have to, when we make this batter, supposedly this batter is really hard to work later on. So I don't see any reason I should be using any sort of, I'm lazy, let me put it that way. So we're going to get that all mixed in. Okay, that's looking pretty good, pretty smooth. Go ahead and get that all knocked off of there. Alright. Okay, so now what we need to do, this is why I didn't use the other. We need 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder. And this is the gal that really likes cocoa, so I'm hoping that it's not super strong, too strong for me, but we'll try it. So this is 1/3. First, we're going to use 1/3 of a cup. She recommends Swerve. I'm out of Swerve right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and use Splenda. So we're going to use 1/3 of a cup of that, and then we're going to use 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder. I am certainly not going to overdo this part. So that's about 1/3 of a cup. Pardon me, I need to get this because I think the plumber's coming out. Okay, sorry about that cut. So anyway, so we've got the extra Splenda in there, the sweetener, we've got the cocoa powder in there, and let's go ahead and add our vanilla extract. We want 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And if we get a little bit too much, that's fine because I love vanilla flavor. So there we go. Alrighty, so we get that all mixed in now. Gotta start slow because otherwise that coconut powder and that Splenda will just go everywhere. Let's get that going. So once we get all that stuff in there, then we've got our almond flour. And we only need a cup of almond flour. So this is actually like a pretty small, in terms of the amount of almond flour for this dessert, you really don't need that much. It's kind of good. I did get another bag of this though. This is definitely by far my favorite brand of almond flour. Out of all the ones I've tried, this Welby's super fine because it is exactly that. It's really fine, which makes for nice texture. Yeah, this just looks like super chocolatey, which for some people that's really good. For me, it's a little bit scary, but hey, I'll probably survive. Go this down since it's so thick now. All right. I just don't want it dripping off over here, making a mess. All right, so that's that. We're gonna add our cup of almond flour. And this is the part where it's gonna start getting a little bit sketchy in terms of the thickness and whatnot. So you do have to be careful that it not get too clumpy. So let's get that guy going. And you will notice, those of you that do have KitchenAid, you notice I don't lock it down. It's just a bad habit. It doesn't buck much, so I'm not too worried about it. But if you're mixing something that's super intense, you should lock it down to make sure it doesn't, you know, hurt itself. But anyway, once this gets going, it's saying that we need to have we need to add extra water, up to 3 tablespoons of water, which we'll see if we need to do that or not. Let's see where we're at. What's this texture like? It's not bad. I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I don't know if it needs extra water. It's still plenty cakey. Kind of wonder if some of that's just based on the, like I was saying earlier, the texture of the almond flour that you use. This doesn't seem that bad. So what I'm going to do, and this is not in the recipe, I'm just not messing with a springform pan because that's too fancy for me. I'm just going to use this 8x8 that I use for a lot of other stuff. I've made the Carmelitas in it. I've made that coconut poke cake in it. So it's a nice and familiar thing. Plus it's easy to wash. That's a big deal. Easy to wash is important as an ex-dishwasher. Ex-professional dishwasher plus ex had to wash the dishes by hand at home when I was growing up. So anything I can do to wash less dishes is a good thing in my mind. So what we're going to do, because I'm not using a springform, I'm going to grease this guy up. And then we're going to press that dough down into here. Alright. So now I want to get this dough in here. The recommendation is to use a piece of wax paper to press down on the top of it, which I think is actually a pretty good idea if you're looking for something really flat. Let's go and get that out of there. So let's see if we can get this to... And it looks like, honestly, it looks like kind of like brownie mix or something, which would make sense because there's a ton of cocoa powder in this. I bet you that when my wife gets home and we eat this, she's going to be like, I can't believe that you put that much chocolate in here. Because the last couple of times we've made recipes from Carolyn, her stuff is fantastic, but she obviously likes chocolate way better than we do. Well, I should say way better than I do. I don't know. My wife likes chocolate an awful lot, but it's just so chocolatey in general. So we'll see. I mean, if I need to adjust it for next time, that's fine. But I like to try to make it at least halfway close to what the recipe is. Of course, I'm not using a springform pan. Yes, I know I'm bad. Whatever. So at this point now, we just let this sit and we refrigerate this and get started on the topping here in just a second. So we're gonna let this sit in there. Obviously, I'm gonna get my last little bit because I can't not. All right, so that's that, and it says go ahead and let it refrigerate. And we'll come back in just a few minutes to do the ice cream part. I'm gonna have to wash this KitchenAid. So be right back. We've got the cake portion, the brownie portion, kind of sitting in the refrigerator getting cool. So now we're going to go ahead and make the topping piece, which is going to involve sour cream, peanut butter, sweetener, and vanilla extract. Let me get out the vanilla extract again. So I put it away. Didn't think I would need it, but I failed to read. Okay, so we want to beat together the sour cream, peanut butter, and sweetener. And I'm going to use the KitchenAid for that, because the other thing we need to do is we need to take the heavy cream and we need to mix that together with some of the sweetener as well. And I'm going to use the magic bullet for that. So we need to do a 3/4 cup of peanut butter, and we need to do, excuse me, we need to do, I hate it when they do this, 1/2 cup of sweetener divided. So we actually need a 1/4 cup of sweetener, so I'm going to go ahead and use that first for this. So a 1/4 cup in there, and then a 1/4 cup in here. Get that in there, because now I'm going to make this, I'm going to fill it full of peanut butter, and we don't want to, even though this is probably going to be the end of this peanut butter. So that's a 1/4 cup-ish, maybe. That looks good. And then we'll divvy that out. This is another one of those things that you don't really feel totally stupid until you try to do it on camera. But I'm feeling pretty stupid right now. So, alright. So that's one. Let's see if we can actually get 3/4 cup. Not. And I think I figured out that it's not actually a problem with the camera battery. I think the camera itself is just dying for some reason. It's turning itself off. So perhaps I have a faulty camera, which is extra fun. But hopefully you're at least getting the gist of the channel. You know, in spite of the strange cuts that happen from time to time. Okay, so that's 2. And it looks like I'm going to have to probably dip into another giant vat of peanut butter, unfortunately. Because I know that I'm going to get another whole 1/4 cup out of this. So, let me go grab another vat of peanut butter and I'll be right back. Okay, so there we go, 3/4 cup total. And if I have to just, you know, finish that off here in a second, that'd be fine. Okay, so 3/4 cup, and then I want sour cream, so I want a cup of sour cream. So that's, I guess I'll need to probably get a different spoon after this. So let's do a cup of sour cream. We go through a lot of sour cream in this house. I need to be finishing this one off too. Nice. Sour cream is one of those things that, you know, if you don't eat, you know, tacos and stuff every other night, which it seems like we seem to do. You won't necessarily go through it all that fast, but we go through it really fast. So, a cup of sour cream. Sour cream. Reminds me of taco night. Okay. Alright, so that's the sour cream. So what we're going to do now is mix it up. We've got the sweetener, the peanut butter, and the sour cream in here. We're just going to get that started. Mixing up. There we go. Alrighty. So that's that. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to get a cup of whipping cream. And these are these little containers from Aldi. By far the best deal on cream I've ever found. I think these are $1.69 right now. So we want to do, yep, 1 cup of whipping cream. So we just want to do 1 cup. Okay. Pour that in there. And again, when you're using the magic bullet, you're listening for that sound. Because the magic bullet will tell you when it's ready to go. You can see that it's nice and fluffy, and we're going to mix in the rest of this with that. When you hear the pitch change, that's how you know that it's done. And again, we're just going to fold this in. It's nice and whipped, which is exactly what you want. So we're going to take this and we're going to fold all this in. So we just mix it in here. Just let that go in there. We're just going to mix that guy. Probably wouldn't have hurt to put a little cream of tartar in this, honestly, to get the, well, or maybe you need eggs to do that. And because this is no bake, you don't want to do eggs because of salmonella concerns. So anyway, we're just going to fold this in now, and you're looking for consistent color. And when you fold, you don't want to push down. You're basically just like lifting up the bottom and letting the, I don't know if you can see it, but you just want to kind of lift it down and then let it fall over the top and get that all just kind of folded in there until it's a consistent color. But we got that. Take our refrigerated bottom portion off of here, and then all we're going to do, unless I'm wrong, which, you know, trust me, I've been wrong on a ton of these so far recently, gently fold, no streaks remain, which is what we've got. Spread that ice cream over brownie base and freeze until firm, 4 to 6 hours. So can't eat this right away, unfortunately. So we'll come back and look at this probably tomorrow, because and heck, I might end up, cause yeah, it's probably about time. Could be that the family gets to eat this tonight for dessert. But I'll save a piece and we can talk about it tomorrow. But all you're going to do in this case, obviously, is just scoop it out into the container here. Now this is where you would have it in a springform pan. Again, to remind you, you're not necessarily going to do it in an 8x8 like I did because I'm who I am. And it probably makes it like look better and stuff when you dig it out, but I don't care what it looks like. So other people would probably prefer it in a springform. Like for example, if my wife was making this, I'm sure she would do it in a springform pan because she's actually a pro at cooking, and I'm not. As a matter of fact, I worked in restaurants waiting tables and stuff, but I can believe I can say that no one has ever paid me to cook. So I think I'm literally not a pro at cooking. So anyway, so once you've got this going, you want to kind of, you know, smooth it out. I mean, I don't want it to look horrible, just, you know, I'm not going to make it look too crazy. Smooth that guy out. Then, according to the recipe here, we want to let it freeze for 46 hours. So again, that's what it looks like when you're done. You got a little bit of brownie on the bottom. You got this nice peanut buttery stuff on the top. We're gonna stick it in the freezer and we'll come back and check it out later. So until then, thanks for watching. Okay, so I apologize for my voice. I've been sick for a few days, but I wanted to at least get this one out. This is the analysis of the peanut butter cake, ice cream cake. And what I will say about this, and this is the last piece ironically, so I'm going to taste it again to make sure I'm getting a reasonable piece. Reasonable response. What I will say is that I don't rate this nearly as high as I had hoped. The sour cream in this is way too strong, at least in my opinion. And obviously, the example that I gave, I didn't use exactly the same ingredients. So I'm not sure if the Swerve does a better job of masking the flavor than the Splenda that I used instead. Because again, my erythritol should be showing up today. But it has a little bit too much of that sour cream. Or if you like cream cheese, you probably would be okay with this. But I'm not a huge cream cheese fan, so for me, it's just a little bit too much of that kind of sour taste. The bottom of it is fantastic. So I think what I'm going to do next time is I'm going to shoot for maybe half as much sour cream, and then I'm going to try to do, I'm going to go with more of a buttercream type frosting combination, so maybe sour cream and butter, just to see if that makes a difference in terms of this top layer. The texture is fantastic, but it's just more about that sourness thing that I'm just not as much of a fan of. So anyway, that's the peanut butter ice cream cake, and hopefully I'll be back with some new stuff soon, but I think I'll wait until I actually get my voice completely back. But I just wanted to get this one out because it's been sitting for a while. Thanks for watching. See you next time.